Hello and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be unboxing the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I'm very excited for this. For those of you who are waiting for the face reveal, that's coming soon. There's a lot of content in the works, so that's been pushed back just a little, but I'm either recording it today or tomorrow, so don't worry about that. Now, I bet you all can see we have a lot of iPhones on this desk here, and that's because in this first impressions and unboxing video, I'm going to really focus on the evolution of the iPhone design. So without further ado, we'll get into unboxing first, then do a quick first impressions, and then talk about the evolution of design while comparing these to the newest iPhone. Alright, I know a lot of you like that plastic. Yeah, we do like the plastic. Okay, so right here, that Pacific blue color looks really nice. Squared off edges, here we go. It doesn't sound as good as when you take off the plastic, but nevertheless that sounds good. SIM tool ejector, papers no one will read, and then our Apple sticker. And actually this Apple sticker is bigger than some of the other iPhone 12 series, like it's bigger than the one you get in the mini, so that's interesting. Then we have our Lightning to USB Type-C. And that's it. That's all you get in the box. Very small box. Not much of anything to do here. Here is my box for the iPhone 11 Pro. And yeah, again, it's just much smaller, which is due to not having the power brick in here. This one came with an 18-watt charging brick, and this one doesn't come with one at all. Some of the older ones also came with headphones. This does not come with headphones. Where some of the older iPhones you see here, boxes, they did come with headphones. Very quick unboxing experience. I'm gonna get the phone set up, and then we will do a little bit more comparing. Okay, so we're back after finally setting it up and everything. And we'll give you my first quick impressions, and then go on to the comparisons to the older iPhones. So my first impressions, this feels like a pretty big phone, but I used the XS Max, and the footprint overall doesn't feel that much bigger, even though it's 6.7 inches versus 6.5 on here. We do obviously get that squared off design, which I'm a big fan of, but both are very nice, and the size difference doesn't feel too big at all for me, which is something I was worried about. The nice thing about having this over my previous iPhone 12 Pro is that the screen to body ratio, because it's bigger, feels a little bit better. The notch doesn't feel as protrusive, but it still isn't great. It's the same size notch as we know and love. The overall feeling of the phone just off the gate feels really good. Extremely premium. A little heavy, but not too much. Not much different from my 11 Pro Max, which was also heavy at that time. I do like the color. It's a little lighter than I wanted, but the rails are perfectly navy blue like I'd hoped for. So now let's get on to the evolution of design here, where we're going to be comparing these relics to the newest iPhone. So this is the original iPhone 2G. This is the smartphone that revolutionized the industry in many different ways. But we're just going to talk about the hardware here. We see similarities even to the newest iPhones. Like you have the glass front, the same kind of touch interface, but you still get those same kind of design cues. Let's talk about the back material. On the original iPhone, you got this aluminum back, and then the antenna down here with the plastic, and the aluminum didn't really wear very well, as you can see right here. It kind of made scratches very easily, just like on the glass screen, but it's still very usable. I'm actually surprised how smooth this feels even today. This is obviously a 3.5 inch display, which feels very small comparatively to phones now and the new 12 Pro Max, but it was very normal around then, and it just feels really nice in the hand. You have these curved sides with the aluminum that Apple used in like the iPhone 6 even. This is an iconic design, a revolutionary product, and we even see the home button in today's iPhone SE. Granted, that has a fingerprint scanner. It's still the same kind of function with a little bit more to it. But yeah, there is that. So original iPhone, we'll put that off to the side, and we'll move on to the iPhone 3G. Next we have the iPhone 3G. This adopted a plastic design and a much more affordable price tag to it. Don't know if you guys know, but the original iPhone was much more expensive than this at launch. I believe this one lets you buy it with a carrier 2-year deal at like $200, where this was like $500 or something. But either way, we still have the 3.5 inch display. There were good amount of advantages to this from the previous one, mainly the price, 3G, and updated internals, but I think it's fair to say that the overall design language from this to here didn't change very much. If you look at them from the front, they look almost identical. Obviously with the backs being changed, both have cameras, but neither have front-facing cameras. And when it comes to the iPhone XS Max right here, the design language is very different. Either way, these were two really cool phones, and it's funny to see these next to the iPhone 12 Pro Max just because it's so different in a way. You never would have thought a phone would have been this big when you were getting one of these. This felt like a tablet. So let's move on to the iPhone 4S. So the iPhone 4 started many of these design trends that I'm going to talk about, but this one right here is just a 4S. Here with the 4 was Apple's biggest leap in design from that time, and it shares a lot of similarities to the new one now. So this 12 Pro and this 4S both use a glass front and back with stainless steel rails. This at the time felt like one of the most premium phones. I know so many people who loved using the iPhone 4 and 4S. This has iOS 6 on here, so you can see the old icons before they changed it with iOS 7. And with this, you see a kind of innovation that was used in all iPhones to come. Mainly the antenna bands were put into the stainless steel rail. So no longer would you need this little plastic thing down here or the entire plastic phone to have your antennas not show or anything. It was a quite cool thing that we could get them just in here, and I think that's very underrated. To me, this iPhone 4S is almost the pinnacle of design for Apple iPhones. It's just so good in so many ways, and we have to consider the time period. So of course the iPhone 12 Pro Max is a better design, but given the time period and everything around it, I don't think you could have beat this. This was something really special, especially when it came out first with the iPhone 4. The design language of the new 12 Pro Max does take a lot of design cues from here, and it's cool to see. And then we finally have the iPhone 5. Another thing that is very similar to the new 10. We get the same sides and boxy shape, but this one is made out of aluminum instead of stainless steel rails. And also the back is mostly aluminum, unlike on the new one. But the matte texture actually feels a little bit similar, which is nice with the frosted glass of the 12 Pro Max. This 5 was the first iPhone to move up to a larger display from that 3.5 inches. We went up to 4 here, which was great to see. I know a lot of people who love this phone based on that and the fact that this was the first one with 4G as well, and where this one is the first one with 5G. I have to say that overall this is an excellent phone, and worth noting is something that upset many people at the time was Apple switched to Lightning. So before, and with all the others, we had a different connection and it was a lot bigger. You had to put it on a particular side to get it to charge. Lightning really was a good move for Apple. You can do it on either side. It's a lot smaller, so it takes up less space. Now it's unfortunate that Apple still uses Lightning from this 5 on the 12 Pro Max. We would have liked to see USB Type-C, but we can't get everything apparently. That's okay. So that's it. Those were all the iPhones that Steve Jobs had an influence on one way or another. I admired the amount of detail Steve put into the design of all these, and Apple still is putting in more detail. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know that might have been longer and we talked about the evolution of design, but let me know what you think in the comments about it. So I hope you guys are doing well, and peace.